There is a moment in every person's life where you stand at a crossroads. In one direction, you react. You explode. You let the heat behind your ribs dictate your actions. And in that brief moment of satisfying rage, you destroy a relationship, you lose a client, or you reveal your weakness to an enemy. In the other direction, there is silence. There is power. There is the ability to look chaos in the eye and remain completely still. We often think that money, status, or muscles make a man powerful. But the truth, the most dangerous person in the room is the one who cannot be triggered. The one who cannot be bought with flattery or destroyed by insults. If you are easily offended, you are easily controlled. And if you are easily controlled, you will never truly be successful financially or spiritually. Today, we are not just talking about calming down. We are talking about building an internal fortress. We are going to master 5 ancient habits that will make you psychologically untouchable. Part 1, the hidden cost. Before we learn the habits, you need to understand the economics of emotion. Why do the most successful investors, the greatest leaders, and the wisest philosophers emphasize calmness? It's simple. Anger makes you stupid. Biologically, when that red mist descends, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, strategy, and money-making decisions, shuts down. You revert to an animal state. Imagine you are in a high-stakes negotiation. The moment you get angry, you have shown your hand. You have signaled that you care too much. You have signaled that you can be manipulated. In business, the person who reacts first loses. In life, the person who shouts loudest has the least to say. So how do we stop this? How do we master the world within so the world without cannot touch us? Habit 1. Pause before you burn the spark. Most people believe anger is an explosion. But the Stoics knew better. Anger is a forest fire, but it always starts with a single spark. A tone of voice. A disrespectful email. A memory. If you catch the spark, you can pinch it out with 2 fingers. If you wait, you have to fight a wildfire. There is a story about Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest men in history. He has a simple rule for anger. He says, you can't always tell a guy to go to hell tomorrow. Think about the power of that. When you feel that heat rising, when your hands start to shake, do nothing. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and neurologist, famously said, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The lesson, your first thought is your programming. It's your ego. It's your childhood trauma. Your second thought, that is you. The habit is simple. Delay the reaction. Give yourself the 24-hour rule for big conflicts and the 3-second rule for small ones. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a strategic pause that allows your logic to reload. Habit 2. Expect imperfection, the daily preparation. Why do you get angry when it rains? You don't. Because you know rain is nature. So why do you get angry when people are rude, dishonest, or incompetent? Is that not also nature? Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth, began every single morning by telling himself this. Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. He didn't say this to be pessimistic. He said it to be prepared. He knew that if he expected perfection from people, he would spend his entire reign angry. When you expect a client to be difficult, you aren't surprised when they are. You are ready. You can handle them and close the deal while your competitor is busy complaining. The lesson: stop expecting the world to accommodate you. Stop expecting people to have your heart, your work ethic, or your values. They don't. People are fighting battles you know nothing about. They are driven by their own fears and insecurities. When you accept that human flaw is a feature, not a bug, you stop taking it personally. And when you stop taking it personally, you become impossible to offend. Habit 3. Don't respond while bleeding, the Lincoln method. There is a rule in medicine. You do not operate on a patient who is thrashing around. You must stabilize them first. The same applies to your communication. Never speak, text, or email when your emotional pulse is high. Abraham Lincoln, arguably the greatest U.S. president, had a method for this. When he was furious with a general or a rival, he would sit down and write a hot letter. He would pour all his rage, his insults, his bitterness onto the paper. He would hold nothing back. Then he would fold the letter, put it in an envelope, and write on it, "Never sent, never signed." He understood that the feeling of anger needs a release, but the target of the anger does not need to receive it. If he had sent those letters, he would have made enemies he couldn't afford. He would have lost allies he needed to win the war. The lesson: how many careers have been ruined by one reply all emails sent in a moment of rage? How many marriages destroyed by one sentence spoken in heat? Write it down if you must. Scream into a pillow. Go to the gym. But do not press send. Do not open your mouth until the bleeding stops. Calm decisions age like wine. Angry decisions age like milk. Habit 4. Build a strong inner world, the fortress. You get bothered by others because you depend on them for your stability. You need their validation to feel good. You need their agreement to feel right. You need their apology to feel at peace. This is slavery. The Stoics believed a person becomes unshakable only when they cultivate an inner fortress, a mental home that no one else has a key to. How do you build this? By doing difficult things. By keeping promises to yourself. When you wake up early, when you work out, when you learn a new skill, when you save money instead of spending it, you are laying bricks for this fortress. When you know your own value, you don't need someone else to confirm it. If a stranger walks up to you and calls you a blue giraffe, do you get angry? No. You laugh. Because you know you are not a blue giraffe. So why do you get angry when someone calls you stupid or failure? It's because a part of you fears they might be right. The lesson: competence builds confidence. Discipline builds armor. When you are truly focused on your mission, on building your wealth, your body, and your legacy, you simply do not have the time or energy to be bothered by the opinions of sheep. Lions do not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Habit 5. Choose meaning over ego, the ultimate revenge. Finally, we must talk about the ego. Ego is the voice that says, "I must win, I must be right, they must respect me." Ego is expensive. Ego creates wars. Ego loses money. Meaning is the quiet voice that says, "I want to resolve this, I want to move forward, I want to succeed." Think about the last time someone insulted you. Your ego wanted to fight back. It wanted to hurt them. But Marcus Aurelius gave us the ultimate cheat code for this. He said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him." If someone screams at you and you scream back, you have just lowered yourself to their level. You have become them. But if they scream and you look at them with calmness, with pity even, you have won. You have outgrown them. Peace isn't won by force. It is earned by elevation. The lesson in business and life: ask yourself, do I want to be right or do I want to be rich? Do I want to win the argument or do I want to win the relationship? Usually you cannot have both. Let the other person think they won the argument while you go home with the result. That is true power. Conclusion: the unstoppable version of you. If you master these habits, the world doesn't magically change. Traffic will still be bad. People will still be rude. Life will still be unfair. But you will change. You will realize that peace is not something you chase. It is something you build brick by brick, choice by choice. There is a version of you can probably feel it right now, who no longer reacts to everything. Who no longer gets pulled into drama. Who no longer loses sleep over people who don't even think about you. That version of you is wealthy, not just in money, but in time and energy. Because you aren't wasting your life force on things that don't matter. Stop trying to control the storm. Calm yourself. The storm will pass. You are here to win yourself. If you are ready to build that fortress, if you are ready to choose power over impulse, hit that subscribe button. Let's master this life together.